How much does the BSP think that governance concerns about public infrastructure spending have weighed on business confidence? And can you elaborate on which sectors are showing the sharpest slowdown? And may I also ask, with moderating demand, what is the BSP's updated GDP growth assumption for this year and for 2026?
I think the biggest effect will be on investment, on private sector investment. Uh, Investment in services will be the largest because that's the largest sector. When it comes to which specific sector is affected the most, I would say it's kind of spread evenly across sectors. The In the stock market, the stocks that fell the most were services stocks, so maybe that was the one most affected. But I think it's across the whole economy. I will let Zeno answer the question about growth.
In the last assessment, we were looking at growth rates that are close to the low end of the government's target. For this year, as you can recall, it's at least 5.5% growth. And for next year, it's about 6% growth, at least 6% growth. And the same is for 2027. Right now, we are looking at the near-term outlook to be lower than we initially anticipated. There's probably greater probability that we will be slightly below those targets that have been set by the government. Of course, a lot of this depends on what the governor has mentioned, the infrastructure spending, how it will evolve the rest of the year as well as into the next year. So we're looking at this very closely. There could be some adjustments later on, but we want to better understand the response of the national government and also the business sentiment, how it evolves during this process.
Thank you, DG Zena. Any more questions?
Thank you. So in terms of pacing, is the cycle of easing still likely to continue through December and next year? And how much space do you still have in terms of cutting rates further without affecting, the primary mandate of the central bank, which is to manage inflation?
In terms of room, we're still refining our estimates. We had thought our policy rate was closer to 5. Now we think it's closer to 4. So we have to decide where we really are between 5 and 4. We have an economist who just came back from MIT, and she worked with a very good professor at MIT on estimating the natural rate, and her estimates. She's back now, so she showed us her estimates, which seems to be based on a better model than before. And her estimate is more like 4, whereas we thought it was more like 5. So it would be somewhere in between, I think. Between 4 and 5, nominal.
Yeah. So, sir, you're sorry. So, Governor, you're saying that originally you're probably more comfortable with setting the policy rate at 5%, and now given
we used to,
right, and now you're looking at a policy rate that is between 4% and 5%. So safe to say, Governor, that more cuts are likely. Are we looking at before the end of the year, or as Mika asked, it could continue up to next year? Because we are still at 4.75, closer to 5.
We have more wiggle room than before.
Thank you, Governor.